Once upon a time, in a kingdom not so far away, there lived a prince named Absalom. He was beloved by his people, with a charm that sparked admiration everywhere he went. But as fate would have it, his quest for power ignited a civil war that ripped the nation apart, reminding us how one person's choices can send shockwaves through an entire community. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Absalom wasn't just any prince. He was blessed with jaw-dropping looks and a royal bloodline that set the stage for greatness right from the get-go. His striking appearance made him a superstar among the people, drawing admiration and attention like a magnet at a pop concert. But hold on, life wasn't all glitz and glam for Absalom. Even with his golden ticket, his journey was paved with personal tragedy and fierce ambition, ultimately leading to some serious family drama. You see, the mix of being adored and feeling entitled created a complicated web of relationships that pushed him towards some pretty questionable choices. Adding to the complexity was the hush-hush relationship between Amnon and Tamar, Absalom's half-siblings. Talk about sticky family dynamics. Their connection was steeped in taboo, turning a gripping situation into a risky game for everyone involved. It was like a ticking time bomb waiting to go off, making the unfolding events even more heartbreaking. When Tamar faced a terrible fate, Absalom's choice to stay quiet was anything but passive. Instead, it showed off his strategic side, planting the seeds for a plan of revenge against Amnon. This moment captured his essence as a future leader, patient and calculating, ready to make his move when the time was right. Speaking of critical moments, let's not forget about King David. His failure to step in and serve justice for Amnon's crime only fueled Absalom's simmering resentment. This inaction marked a huge turning point in their father-son relationship, setting the stage for rebellion and laying the groundwork for a conflict that would ripple through the kingdom. Then came the sheep shearing festival, a time of harvest and joy for shepherds across Israel. But for Absalom, this celebration was a perfect cover for his darker intentions. It's wild how something meant for happiness quickly morphed into chaos, contrasting the cheerful vibes with the storm about to break. With the festival as his backdrop, Absalom moved forward with a cold, calculated plan to murder Amnon. His actions screamed vengeance, showcasing the depths of his anger. It was chilling to think that he'd orchestrate such a pivotal moment on a day meant for celebrating life and community. After Amnon's shocking death, the fallout was enormous. Absalom's actions didn't just shake the royal family. They ignited a national crisis that would change Israel forever. This single act set off a series of events that led to an epic clash for control over the kingdom. However, when David turned cold toward Absalom, something shifted dramatically. From being the favored son, Absalom felt like a stranger in his own home. This rejection fueled a burning ambition and an insatiable thirst for recognition that pushed him further along his treacherous path. Over the next 2 years, Absalom honed in on his looks and charisma to regain his foothold in Jerusalem. He quickly turned heads and won hearts, positioning himself as a potential leader. It was like a reality show, and he was in it to win it. Then came the clever part. Absalom started to publicly criticize David's administration while painting himself as the answer to the kingdom's troubles. He promised justice and equality, resonating with the voices of the neglected. It was like he knew exactly what to say to attract the crowd, and boy, did it work. As time passed, Absalom meticulously built a network of loyal followers, demonstrating his innate political savvy and understanding of human nature. Over 4 years, he laid a solid foundation that would be crucial for the rebellion he was brewing, much like an artist preparing for their masterpiece. When he chose Hebron as the launch pad for his rebellion, Absalom cleverly tied himself to King David's legacy, tricking everyone into thinking he was on a righteous mission. This strategic move allowed him to mask his true intentions while fulfilling what seemed like a noble religious vow. His recruitment of key figures, including David's advisor Ahithophel, further solidified Absalom's position. This wasn't just about popularity. It was smart networking that gave him strategic advantages. He was assembling a dream team ready to take the kingdom by storm. But the stakes were high. David's decision to abandon Jerusalem shook the faith of many Israelites, revealing just how fragile his reign had become. This moment was pivotal, shining a light on the vulnerability of a king who seemed untouchable. When Absalom made his move and marched triumphantly into Jerusalem, it marked the climax of his conspiracy against David. This was the beginning of a fierce struggle for control over the kingdom, a clash that would test the very fabric of their society. The ensuing civil war between David and Absalom pushed relationships to their limits, forcing families to rethink their loyalties. This wasn't just a battle for power. It fractured the unity of the tribes and strained resources throughout the nation. As families and communities grappled with shifting loyalties, the division between David and the ever-charismatic Absalom complicated personal relationships during the Civil War. This schism wasn't merely political. It dug deep into the heart of society, leaving behind simmering tensions. When the battle erupted in the forest of Ephraim, chaos reigned supreme. The natural terrain turned the clash into a wild spectacle, resulting in losses for both sides. It was a stark reminder of how unpredictable events can dramatically shift the course of conflict. David's profound grief over Absalom's death revealed the heavy toll leadership exacted on him. This moment deeply affected his connection with his soldiers, showcasing the difficult balance leaders must strike between personal emotions and their public responsibilities. In the wake of Absalom's death, the kingdom was left in disarray, complicating David's efforts to mend the torn fabric of the nation. This challenge required all of David's diplomatic skills and vision to bring his people back together. As David moved into his later years, his focus shifted to grooming Solomon as a successor, stressing the importance of stable leadership. This preparation became critical, especially with the looming threats from within his own family. Ultimately, Absalom's rebellion laid bare the fragility of the Israelite monarchy and illuminated the far-reaching consequences of David's earlier decisions. His failure to confront past injustices set the stage for turmoil and division, leaving a legacy of conflict. This epic saga challenges us to find that sweet spot between our dreams and our responsibilities to our families and society. It reminds us just how vital integrity is in our actions, especially when the stakes are so high. Finally, the lessons from David's response to Absalom's rebellion resonate through the ages, teaching us about resilience and forgiveness. They remind us that every step, even the missteps, can be valuable lessons in our journey through leadership. In the end, the timeless themes of love and loss in Absalom's story still hit home today, providing profound insights into leadership and unveiling the intricate layers of human nature. So, remember, just like in this tale, our paths are often shaped by the very complexities we face.